What do you think would happen if you cut every starting quarterback from all of their original teams in Madden 23 and then simulated a season to see where everyone signs? Well, today we're going to figure that out. Like I just said, I've cut every single starting quarterback from every team in the NFL, except for the ones that were injured. So I couldn't cut Trey Lance or Sam Darnold, guys like that are over 70 overall, but now we can simulate through the preseason and see where everyone wants to sign. And just as a quick side note for you guys, I have automated everything for Philadelphia, so they should do everything automatically. And before we go see who everyone signed, let's take a look at the available ones still in free agency. An 82 overall Derek Carr, an 80 overall 24-year-old Jalen Hurts. That kind of surprises me. Matt Ryan is still here, Jimmy Garoppolo, Mac Jones, Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence, Daniel Jones, Teddy Bridgewater, Justin Fields, Jacoby Brissett, Marcus Mariota, and Andy Dalton are all still here. One note that I will add is I did this in Madden 22 as well, and there were a few quarterbacks that went unsigned originally, but then they signed with teams later in the year, so we will probably jump to the midway point of the season here in a minute, and we will see if any of them have signed then. But the first team we are going to look at is the Chicago Bears, who have decided to sign Kirk Cousins to be their starting quarterback. And Cincinnati has signed 96 overall superstar X-Factor Josh Allen, so they lose Joe Burrow, but they gain Josh Allen. And the Bills have elected to go with Ryan Tannehill for this season, 80 overall with a star dev trait. The Broncos was so far the biggest surprise I've seen. They signed PJ Walker. I did cut him from Carolina, and he is their highest rated quarterback at 63 overall. The Cleveland Browns elect to not sign a quarterback, and then it looks like they're just going to roll with Kellen Mond. Okay, I don't really agree with that decision, but you do you, Cleveland. And the Buccaneers are in the same boat. They elect not to sign anybody and go with Kyle Trask. But the Arizona Cardinals have moved on from Kyler Murray and have now signed Joe Burrow, a 90 overall with a superstar X-Factor. The Chargers are another team that have elected to not sign a quarterback. They will be starting the season with Chase Daniel. And the Kansas City Chiefs have decided to bring in Tom Brady, 94 overall superstar X-Factor. They decide to sign the GOAT. And the Indianapolis Colts have decided to go with Russell Wilson at quarterback, a 79 overall superstar X-Factor. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. They should probably take away his X-Factor with the way he's been playing this year. So you may be wondering why Carson Wentz is here. Well, I wasn't able to cut him because he was on IR. I guess he is now off IR and he will be the Commanders starting quarterback. They don't want to sign anyone else. And Dallas decides to just re-sign Dak Prescott, so Prescott will remain with the Cowboys. And the Miami Dolphins have elected to go with Geno Smith as their quarterback. And Philadelphia has signed Lamar Jackson. I don't really like the number you're in, Lamar, because I am an Eagles fan. It kind of bugs me to see people in retired numbers, but I will keep it for now. But Lamar Jackson is the Eagles quarterback, but that is not the only one they actually signed. The Eagles have also signed Kyler Murray. Like I said, I have everything set to auto for Philadelphia, so this was completely the CPU. And the Atlanta Falcons go with a questionable decision here. They signed Gardner Minshew. I did cut Minshew from the Eagles because he's a 67 overall, and I thought the CPU might just roll with him, but Gardner Minshew is now a Falcon. And Trey Lance is injured for San Francisco, won't be playing this year, so they're going to start this season with Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy. And the New York Giants have signed Davis Mills, 71 overall, star dev trait. He is an Eli Manning's number, which is a little ridiculous, but he will be their quarterback this year. And we have another team with a questionable decision here. Mitch Trubisky is officially a Jacksonville Jaguar. And the Jets elect to go with a young quarterback here. They signed Kenny Pickett, a 67 overall with a normal dev trait. And because the Lions don't have enough problems in that organization, they have decided to sign Deshaun Watson. And the Green Bay Packers move on from Aaron Rodgers and they elect to sign Jameis Winston. And this is another situation where I could not cut all of their quarterbacks because Darnold and Matt Corral are both on IR, so they are starting a 54 overall quarterback. And this one is a pretty interesting decision. The New England Patriots have signed Aaron Rodgers. And the Raiders come in with the most wild decision so far. They are signing Cooper Rush, a 65 overall quarterback. I cut him kind of as a joke because he did start several games for the Cowboys. I honestly didn't think anyone would sign him. Oh, this combination might be stupid. Patrick Mahomes has signed with the Rams, so he will have Cooper Kupp. These are two guys that in simulation, their stats usually look ridiculous while they are on separate teams. I have a feeling this year is going to look even more insane. And Baker Mayfield is headed back to the AFC North as the Baltimore Ravens have elected to sign him to be their quarterback. And I believe the Saints might have just topped the Raiders for most wild decisions so far of this. They have signed Bailey Zappi, a 64 overall. I cut him because he started a couple games for the Patriots, just once again kind of as a joke. Didn't think anyone would sign him. And Justin Herbert has decided to go join Pete Carroll in the Seattle Seahawks. He is an 89 overall with a superstar depth trait. That offense should be a lot of fun. And the Steelers have signed quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. I think I said his name right. If I didn't, I apologize, but he comes in as a 78 overall with a star depth trait. And the Texans trade out Davis Mills for Zach Wilson. Mills, I believe, was a 71 overall. Wilson is a 74, so they slightly upgrade in terms of overall. And the Tennessee Titans made a couple signings here, the first one being Desmond Ridder, a 69 overall rookie. But they also decided to bring back Malik Willis, who was also a 69 overall rookie quarterback. And the final team to look at is the Minnesota Vikings, who have signed Matthew Stafford. He should be a lot of fun with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen and Dalvin Cook. He has a lot of weapons there, and he will get to play the Lions twice this season. But now I'm going to simulate to mid-season, and we will go back to the free agents list and see if any of those quarterbacks have signed anywhere. And it looks like almost all of them that I cut have now signed with somebody. The highest rated one left is Andy Dalton. And I believe the first change that I noticed is that the Bears have now signed Mac Jones to be their backup quarterback. And the Broncos elected to not go with PJ Walker the entire season. They have signed Jalen Hurts. And the Browns have elected to not go with Kellen Mond all season and have signed Derek Carr. So that is now two of the teams I was really concerned about not signing a quarterback that got decent starters. And I really don't think this could have turned out any better. The Buccaneers have signed Jimmy Garoppolo to replace Tom Brady. And then the Chargers decide not to start Chase Daniel. They have signed Daniel Jones, so they take a massive drop off from Justin Herbert. And I'm honestly surprised the Commanders ended up signing a quarterback to start over Carson. They signed Justin Fields. And then the Miami Dolphins have signed Trevor Lawrence, it looks like, to back up Geno Smith. And then the Falcons have apparently just decided to stick with Gardner Minshew. And even though Trey Lance is on IR, the 49ers have decided to stay with Brock Purdy. And the Panthers have signed their new starting quarterback. They ended up signing Jared Goff. And the Raiders have decided that they did not want to play the whole season with Cooper Rush and have brought in Teddy Bridgewater. And the Saints had originally signed Bailey Zappi as their starting quarterback, but they have now brought in Jacoby Brissett. But that is not the only quarterback they brought in. They brought in Matt Ryan to be their starter, and he will get to see Atlanta 2 times this year. And I guess the combination of Malik Willis and Desmond Ridder was not enough for Tennessee. They have decided to bring back Marcus Mariota. Well, that was everyone that decided to make a change at quarterback or decided to keep their low overall. Now we will go to the end of the season. And now the first thing we are going to see is how well everyone did. It looks like Lamar Jackson has led the Eagles to a 13-4 record. The Cowboys go 11-6. The Cardinals go 11-6. The Falcons go 10-7, the Buccaneers go 10-7. The Rams get into the playoffs as a wild card. That is really shocking with Mahomes and Cooper Kupp. And then the Detroit Lions actually get into the playoffs at 9-8. And now we will just scroll down the list to see how bad everyone else was. The Packers go 9-8, the Vikings go 9-8, the Saints go 9-8, the 49ers go 9-8, the Bears go 8-9 along with the Commanders. The Panthers go 6-11, Seattle goes 5-12 with Justin Herbert, and the Giants go 3-14. And now I will go over the AFC side of the playoffs. The Browns get in at 12-5 as the 1 seed. The Patriots, Bills, Raiders, Chiefs all go 11-6. The Colts go 10-7, and the Ravens go 9-8. And now here goes the rest of the teams. The Bengals go 9-8. The Broncos go 8-9. The Jets go 7-10. The Steelers, Titans, Texans, and Dolphins all go 6-11. The Chargers go 5-12, and the Jacksonville Jaguars go 4-13. But now let's take a look at the stats from around the league, and it looks like Joe Burrow leads the league in passing yards with 4,900 and has 42 touchdowns to only 8 interceptions. Gardner Minshew definitely had a really solid year. 4,900 yards, 41 touchdowns, 15 picks. Maybe that's why they didn't sign anyone. Dak Prescott, on his usual team, 34 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. Stafford, 30-13. Patrick Mahomes, 4,800 yards, 38 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Lamar Jackson in Philadelphia for 4,800 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Ryan Tannehill, 34 touchdowns. Geno Smith throws 30. Tom Brady, 24 touchdowns to 18 interceptions. Did not have a tremendous year. Josh Allen, 34 touchdowns to 9 picks. Tua, 25-7. Derek Carr, 30-9. Deshaun Watson, 37-6. Aaron Rodgers, 36-14. Jameis Winston with 19 interceptions, but 39 touchdowns. Let's go back up here, and I believe the league leader is going to be Burrow with 42, and leading the league in picks is Zach Wilson, who had a 20-for-20 season. And obviously these guys did not change teams, so it won't matter too much, but Derrick Henry leads the league in rushing yards with 1,887, and touchdowns goes to Joe Mixon, who got 23 of them. And I knew Cooper Kupp would put up stupid numbers. 134 catches, 1,800 yards, and 17 touchdowns are all good enough to lead the league. And then Bobby Wagner leads the league in tackles with 152, and sacks that goes to Aaron Donald with 23.5, and interceptions, Von Bell and Mike Ford both got 6. And now here is the playoff bracket for this season. We will start to simulate these games and see what quarterback can lead his new team to a Super Bowl title, unless of course it's the 5th seeded Cowboys because they decided to just re-sign Dak Prescott. And the first playoff game we're going to look at is Tom Brady and the Kansas City Chiefs knock off the Ravens 13-7. The Ravens were led by Baker Mayfield at one point, but he registered no stats in this game, so I don't know if he is hurt or if he just got benched for Tyler Huntley, but Huntley did not play well. He goes 7 for 16 for 73 yards. And in the next playoff game, Aaron Rodgers and the New England Patriots knock off Ryan Tannehill and the Buffalo Bills. It looks like it required a fourth quarter comeback, but they win 28-24. And then in the final AFC playoff game for the wildcard round, Teddy Bridgewater and the Las Vegas Raiders go into Indianapolis and knock off Russell Wilson and the Colts 31-28. And now for the NFC side, the Los Angeles Rams, led by Patrick Mahomes, go into Arizona and knock off Joe Burrow and the Cardinals 36-31. And then Jimmy Garoppolo and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go into Atlanta and take down Gardner Minshew and the Falcons 28-23. And now in the final game of the NFC wildcard round, the Dallas Cowboys, led by quarterback Dak Prescott, take down the Detroit Lions, who were led by Deshaun Watson 38-17. So 4 of the 6 games played here were won by teams that went on the road, which is pretty impressive, and now you can see the matchups for the next round. And Derek Carr and the Cleveland Browns knock off Teddy Bridgewater and the Raiders, and the Browns are headed to the AFC Championship game. And they will get to meet Aaron Rodgers and the New England Patriots there because they beat Tom Brady and the Chiefs 25-22. And now over in the NFC side, the Eagles, led by quarterback Lamar Jackson, knock off the Rams, led by Patrick Mahomes 31-24. And Dak Prescott and the Cowboys will take down Jimmy Garoppolo and the Buccaneers by 24-23. So here are your conference championship games. It is the Cleveland Browns, led by Derek Carr, against the New England Patriots, led by Aaron Rodgers, and the Philadelphia Eagles, led by Lamar Jackson, taking on the Dallas Cowboys, who are still led by Dak Prescott. The New England Patriots and Aaron Rodgers are now headed to the Super Bowl as they take down the Derek Carr-led Browns 35-21. And Lamar Jackson was apparently not enough for Philadelphia. They lose to Dak Prescott and the Cowboys 34-28 in overtime. So your Super Bowl here in this season is the Dak Prescott-led Cowboys taking on the Aaron Rodgers-led New England Patriots. And your Super Bowl champion is the New England Patriots, led by quarterback Aaron Rodgers. They win 34-28. And here is your season recap. Obviously, like I just showed, the Patriots won the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl MVP is Aaron Rodgers. The NFL MVP goes to Joe Burrow. Coach of the Year goes to Nick Sirianni. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Cooper Kupp. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Aaron Donald. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to wide receiver Romeo Doubs. And Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Aiden Hutchinson. I just figured this would be a fun little quick experiment I could do. Like I said, I did it in Madden 22, so I figured why not do it in Madden 23. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys next time.